Are you a solopreneur looking to 2 times your revenue to fund your lifestyle and give back? Well, this podcast is for you. We bring you inspirational guests sharing actionable tips to solve many of the struggles you face each and every day. And now over to your host, Paul Higgins.
Hi, Paul here. Before we get into the show, would you like to make a great first impression on LinkedIn? If so, I have something just for you. When people search for your name on Google, your LinkedIn profile will normally come up first. Before meeting someone for the first time, how often do they view your LinkedIn profile? For many coaches and consultants I begin to work with, their profiles don't do them any justice. I've created a simple solution where you can whip your profile into shape to have your best foot forward when attracting new clients on LinkedIn. Go to blgdownload.com, so that's blgdownload.com to get your 5 killer tips today. Hello to the Build, Live, Give podcast, episode number 200. I've hit the double century. If it is your first time, welcome. And if you love what you hear, please subscribe. If you're a regular, thanks for your support, especially if you've listened to all 200. I'd love to know if you've been crazy enough to do that. I'd also love to get your feedback on how to improve the show for the next 200. Just go to paul@buildlivegive.com. And when I say go to, just email me. And please check out our past shows. There's a great selection there over the 200, and you can just search Build, Live, Give on your favorite platform. So today's show is a little different. I want to talk to you about my learnings from the 200 shows. I launched my podcast on the 5th of May 2017. I launched it because I couldn't find a podcast helping people like me. It was called Corporate Escapees, and that was my journey. So I was sharing that and guest journey going through that. I loved interviewing people and finding out about their change from a job to a business. It was conversational within a framework. I wanted real people giving real tips, not another book launch promo. I didn't get to do any of the tech, all right? I just didn't want to do it. So a former guest of mine, Nathan Chan, helped me out with an audio editor who I still use today. A big shout out to Balazs. I won't tell you his surname because I don't want you to steal him. Another former guest and mentor of mine, James Schramko, questioned me on the title. He said, it's not about you, it's about your guests. So who are you looking to work with and help? So I changed it to Build, Live, Give in August 2019. And Build, Live, Give stands for building a great business to live a dream life and to give back. And I do that predominantly for coaches and consultants. So if you're a regular listener, you'll be aware of my up and down journey with my health. The reason I left my job was to be able to work from a hospital bed. I designed my business to suit my life. I feel compelled to give back as I've been blessed to have my best mate Brendan donate his kidney, Linda, Tamsin and Liam, for their awesome support through the rough days, and there's been so many, to the point where I almost lost my life one day, and to all my medical team led by the amazing Kathleen Khan who saved my life. Today, I give back through the Purple House. I donate 100% of my book proceeds, Build, Live, Give. I know, very original. I've got a podcast, a company and a book all named the same. And what I do is give them a proportion of my revenues as well. So 100% of the book proportion of my revenues. So a big shout out to Sarah Brown and her team that do amazing work in helping provide dialysis support to Indigenous Australians. My mum was on dialysis for 10 years and I know how hard it was for her. I can only imagine what it would be like living in remote Australia. So once COVID-19 is stable, I want to visit them and show my support. But you can donate now. So just go purplehouse.org.au and there'll be a link in the show notes. So what have I learned after my 200 shows? Everyone has a unique story. Okay, everyone's got a story within them. It's just a matter of how you draw it out. No path has been smooth for anybody. The 10 years of being an overnight success is very much the case. The more super targeted you are, the better. So the better you can niche down on your clients, the better it can be. And I know that's certainly been my journey and some of the changes you've probably witnessed as you've gone through my 200 episodes. Successful people are open to support. So I always ask the question, who supported you? So the family one's the obvious one, but it's often other people, and most of them have a mentor or a coach through the journey. They just haven't done it themselves. And they've also, mainly in a peer group as well, which I think has been really beneficial. You can build great relationships in 40 minutes, which can turn into clients. I've been very thankful for the people that have come on as guests and they've ended up, we've got to know each other and we've ended up being clients, or I've directed them to someone that they can get help from, because often, they talk about their biggest challenges and then I'm supporting them that way. So it's a great way to do that. Your highest profile guests aren't always your highest views because they've got a lot of content they want to share, so they don't often share your content with them. But it's a great way to get other guests on. Always put the guest in the spotlight. Okay, so the spotlight's not on you, it's about the guest. And I used to always try to compete in initial podcast episodes. Now what I do is much more about them than me. Ask questions based on what they say and not what you've researched. So a bit of research is good. I agree with that, but you should be, conversation for me is within the framework. So I've got sections that in my interview podcast, but I'll always make sure that I follow up. So I write down what they've said and then I make sure I tie it back. Be entertaining. I was very much like a robot for so long, and I think that's my corporate stiffness. I think it's a bit of my personality, but also me leaving Coca-Cola as well. So don't do that. Be entertaining. Don't get caught up in the download numbers. I used to focus on that and focus on that only. I thought that 300 to 1,000, downloads per show wasn't good enough, but I've heard from so many people now that actually that's a really good number, so don't get tied up on that. Ask new connections on LinkedIn how they found you. So often people say through my podcast, because it's hard to know who listens. Be consistent and show up. I think that's obvious. Get mentored. So thanks to Doug Sanders, John Lee Demas, Dave Jackson, Michael O'Neill, and Tina Dietz that have all provided awesome mentorship and value. And the big one for me, and the last point, is listen to other podcasts to improve yours. So I'll just name a few. So there's Jordan Harbinger, and Jordan, thanks for giving a review of my book. I really appreciate that as well. Amy Porterfield, Pat Flynn, Dennis Brown, Ari Mizell, James Schramko, who I mentioned before, Mike Kim, and Michael Stelzner. I think they're the podcasts that I listen to every week, and they just give me brilliant ideas, and I'm constantly changing and adding little bits and pieces. I know I shouldn't have favourite shows, but look, let's say these are the ones that I've listened to more than once, okay? And I don't like listening to my voice, so they must be good. So Josh Stanton, sorry if I can get my tongue out of my teeth, he's episode 53. James Schramko, episode number 61. Nathan Chan, episode 72. Nathan Hirsch, 83. John Nemo, episode 117. Mary Henderson, 119. Brendan Kane, 131, and Tim Reed, episode 132. But there's so many others there, and maybe, email me at paul@buildlivegive.com and just tell me what you're looking for, and I can guide you as well. And you can always search by name or topic in the website as well. I'd like to thank you all for listening. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you listen to one show or 200. I really appreciate that, and that's what keeps me going. And also everyone that's emailed me, contacted me on LinkedIn and left reviews, it just means the absolute world to me. I would literally do this if no one listened, but it makes such a difference when I know the results that I'm helping people to get. And most important, that my people that I interview are helping you get amazing results, and they're also being able to help more people. My team, Connie and Melanie, I couldn't do this without them. And as I said before, Balazs has been awesome. So you can get all the links in the show notes at buildlivegive.com/podcast, episode 200, or on the app you're listening to right now. So I recommend the Pocket Cast apps. That's the one I love. If you want to be seen on LinkedIn by your ideal clients and build lasting relationships, just go to blgclick.com. You can watch a free pre-recorded masterclass. It'll take you, if you watch it at 2 times speed, 15 minutes, and it'll give you everything you need, plus an opportunity to get some help by a community. You can connect and follow me on LinkedIn. And if you know someone who has a podcast, is thinking of doing a podcast, please share this with them. So please take action to build your business and lifestyle, and most importantly, stay well.
Thank you for listening to the Build, Live, Give podcast. If you like what you heard, please subscribe and leave us a review. It would mean the world to us.